Hi everybody, I'm Damien and welcome to my channel, Bromeliad Boss. I'm here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I collect bromeliad. Today I'm here at Jungle Gems and we're going to show you some rare Alcantara and a bunch of other bromeliads that Marty's got growing here. So I can't wait to show you around. Alright, so this is the infamous Marty at Jungle Gems, and he has some really super rare plants here, and he's going to show us a couple of the things that he's got. I think overall bromeliads are sort of an underappreciated species of plants as far as collecting goes, but I think you'll see today how much variety there is and how colorful they can really be and showy. These plants spike once in their life, but when they do, it can last a really long time. They produce baby pups from the mother plant. Species like this are showy all the time, so you're actually getting a really beautiful addition to your garden that's going to last for a long time, unlike something like an orchid where, you know, it's going to bloom for like a month and then
green
most of the year you're just looking at green leaves. So I think that's something really appealing to me about bromeliads. What kind of got you into bromeliads?
And I've been a collector my whole life of everything, so it started as a collection. But then what kept me going is making hybrids. It's very interesting. Once you make hybrids and see how they turn out, it's like having kids. You don't know how they're going to turn out. It's sort of the same thing, but you don't have to pay those hospital bills.
Oh, that's
Someone once told me it's like collecting baseball cards.
Yeah.
Except baseball cards, you take them out once a year, you look at them. In a bromeliad, they keep growing. You get more and more, and it basically turned it into a little nursery, a little backyard nursery.
Yes, and I haven't taken the hybridizing jump yet. I'm still just a collector and grower, but you know, maybe one day.
It's easy. It's
well, for you.
Well, when I started, it was one of those things, you know, oh, you thought only doctors did, you know, somebody with an intelligence, but no, I've been doing them, so
no,
you definitely don't need an intelligence.
Well, you definitely need some knowledge, though, and you have that in spades.
Okay, so the Alcantaras, to the newer grower, they believe it's a new genera, but it's been around forever as Varieseas. Years back, they changed it into the Alcantaras, and that's when they went crazy. Everybody wants them now. Back when they were Varieseas, it was Varisea imperialis and odorata is all you had, and they were out there, but nobody had them. So here's a few that are pretty rare. This is John Stoddard, and it's a variegated, nice yellow variegation. Then we have it from Hawaii, Dave Fell in Hawaii. This is Golden Boy, which is going to get a little bit smaller than John Stoddard, but you can see the variegation's more white. And then this one from Australia is called Bobby Gold. Really wide leaf, nice yellow stripes in the middle. And then I don't know if you can see the ones in front here. This is what people grew in the beginning. They're just different forms of Alcantara imperialis. Now, if you come all the way to the back here, this is the rarest of them all. This is an imperialis that is striated. Every now and then I'll have a few of these to sell, but right now they're very small. But this is probably the rarest of the bromeliads that I have here, and definitely one of the rarest odoratas.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You have all the rosy colors throughout the variegation.
And you can still see the ruber on the back, and then the yellow stripes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful plant. And that'll get about the same size as these guys, or it's going to stay a little smaller?
No, this will get to be a big full plant. So this is a pita from Costa Rica, which is a species collected by Chester Skotek. When I was talking about the pups earlier, you can see the pups are coming out, but some of them are pure white, so they're not going to live. This is the pups that you want. And we're talking about 4 or 5 more months before these are even big enough to pull off.
Yeah, and you can see he's cut the bloom spike off here.
Yeah, you always want to cut the bloom spike off, otherwise it'll form seed. Now, on this Alcantara here, you can see tags. Those are the ones I'm waiting for seed that I crossed. But if you were to keep a bloom spike up, the bromeliad wants to make life. So it's either going to make it through seeds or through pups. If you leave the spike on, it's going to put all its energy to make seeds. And you don't want that on a plant like this. You want to cut the spike off as soon as you can so that the energy will go into making pups.
Okay, that makes sense.
My nursery is a collection also, and I collect by hybridizer. So this greenhouse here, the majority of it is hybrids from Lisa Van Zandt in Hawaii. And then On the left side, that is Don Beetle's species collection. I have a log where he collected every plant, so it's just different forms of Bilbergia species. Don Beetle was the species king back in the day.
So I think that's actually one of the really cool things about being here in South Florida is there's a lot of history for bromeliads in this area. There's a lot of really famous hybridizers and growers that have come from this area. You and I are both a member of the Florida West Coast Bromeliad Society, which was founded in 1954. There's a lot of history, and there's a lot of really amazing stories of people going out into the jungles and collecting these plants for the hobby, and then going and hybridizing them as well. So, you know, you have part of a collection from
Don Beetle.
And so you want to tell us like a little bit more about him?
So Don Beetle, when I first met him, lived in Corpus Christi. He didn't like the cold there, so he moved down here and bought a nursery, which later on Michael Keel from Michael's Bromeliads bought. But Don Beetle was there first, and that's so he could spread out all his Bilbergias. If you go on and look up Bilbergia hybrids, Don Beetle's name comes up thousands of times. But he also had a species collection that he kept. A lot of people don't like these plants because they're just green, but to me, collecting is collecting, so I had to have one of every species. And luck has it that Mike Keel and I are friends, and when he bought Don Beetle's place, I helped him go through the species and took one of every species. So I still house that species collection in the back corner here. He had them all categorized on what mountain he collected them, what South America country he was in, what the altitude was, everything. So it's a very interesting collection.
Yeah. I think that's super cool too, is just like the history behind some of these plants and the stories of where they came from, and you know, collectors that have gone out and gotten these things over the years. So it's pretty cool to have a part of that collection. That's part of the reason I want to start this channel, is to like document these stories and keep that information in the public archives so that this information doesn't get lost. Because you know, people don't live forever, unfortunately, and so these collections pass on to other collectors, and so it's really important, I think, that we keep these stories alive as well as the plants.
Here, with the exception of this section, little section right here, which are all Grant Grove hybrids, are all my hybrids.
But today we just want to really show you guys this amazing collection that Marty's got here. I mean, like, look at the number of plants, it's just wild.
This is what really keeps me in Bromeliads, is this one greenhouse. I mean, and there's another house that has half of my hybrids too, but getting up in the morning and seeing, you know, something new come into bloom. Some of them I'm named. A big Concentrica type that stays purple all the time. I named that Age of Aquarius years ago.
Oh, I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah, we're both Aquarius. This is a new one that I call Icon. It's got striations in it. I used a couple Ray Coleman hybrids to make it. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it's showing the color that I want. So I like to name things after places I've been.
Okay.
And this one was called Sichuan, after a place in China I took my mom to.
Beautiful. Look at the pink on that.
And this one called Road to Hana. But Road to Hana is a place in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
And actually one of the best hybrids I've made, right over here, is called Holly. I made my first hybrid after my wife. It was a little cryptanthus that was sort of an ugly brown cryptanthus. And she always got pissed that I named plants after people that are pretty plants. So that's probably the best hybrid I've made, and it's called Holly after my wife. Of course, they're just all over. There's, I mean, hundreds and hundreds. I don't know. I can't. I do a lot of minis.
Yeah, those guys stay really tiny. So those are actually really great for vivariums, in my opinion. That's actually how I got started. Was I actually keep and breed dart frogs, and so I started collecting bromeliads when I started doing dart frog tanks and building out tropical vivariums. And so I really like the mini neos because they'll stay super tiny.
This is a new one I just named Blueberry Budget.
But yeah, you can see the size difference between the little mini neos.
They're very tiny. Full size. That's a full size.
Yeah.
This one's actually registered as Mountain Trace. It's the name of the road that my house in Georgia's on.
Nice.
Little mini. Lots of little minis. So this table here, for the majority, is Grant Groves. That's another hybridizer that's been around forever. He started at Alfred Foster's place as a youth, and he's never done anything else. It turned right into his own nursery, and anything you get with pastel colors usually came out of Grant Groves.
Okay.
out of a papka.
Yeah, what's that like really pink one there in the middle, sort of?
This one,
Yeah.
it's actually just a cross between two of his hybrids that was never named.
Okay.
I have a lot of that too in here, and I refuse to name them because they're not my hybrids. I can,
Very pretty. Oh, it's got like almost like white in the middle too.
Neat plant.
Yeah.
But he grew these for interior scapers. So
Oh.
his whole deal was, you know, you can, which I did interior scaping for a while. Every 2 weeks you got to remove everything and put all new stuff in because it loses its color.
Yeah.
So he had this idea to start producing things that would hold color in low light. So even though these are grown the same 63, you can still get the same color in a lot less light.
Oh, that's great to know, actually.
So yeah, they would last probably a month versus the 2 weeks.
And if you thought there wasn't enough, here's more.
I hooked up with an offshore grower who I get a massive amount of pups. I grow them out for commercial. So this greenhouse is devoted just to plants that are going to nurseries around Pinellas County.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And you can find a lot of Marty's plants around here at Art and Stone Co.
and Willow Tree. It's really the only two left now. A couple of the nurseries have closed.
And this would be some of those more commercial plants, not as rare.
Commercial, I say, because I grow them in quantities.
Yeah.
A lot of people grow these in their collections as a collector plant. When they come in very small. I grow them 3 to a pot.
Okay.
And then as they get bigger, I'll separate them into single pots and put them in this greenhouse. And then 6 months down the road, they're ready to go to a nursery.
So, I mean, these aren't plants you guys are going to find at Home Depot. These
are no.
Colors and everything. I think, you know, the Guzmania is basically all you're going to see.
Right. And I don't grow
Home Depot.
Guzmanias. I have a collection of them in that other greenhouse, but not for sale.
Yeah.
Just because I want them in my collection.
Yeah. Well, let's take a little closer look at some of these guys. But yeah, you can see just the beautiful blushing that they get. These are beautiful. What are these guys with the sort of mottled?
That's Hypnotic. That's Chester Skotek hybrid that went into mass production in Costa Rica, and I was able to get some of them. You know, a year ago, that was a collector plant. Once it gets put in mass production, you know, it's supply and demand. It's not a collector plant anymore.
Still beautiful though.
It's a pretty plant, yep.
And definitely not something you see all the time. And again, this is what I'm talking about when I say like you're gonna get a plant that's beautiful all year, not just when it blooms.
In this greenhouse, it's my Bilbergia hybrids that I've made, and also different hybridizers. Don Beetle's got a lot. Again, Lisa Van Zandt, Sharon Peterson, a lot of Bilbergia hybrids in here. This is one that, if you talk to some people, they say this is my claim to fame. I don't believe so. I hope this isn't it. But it's a Bilbergia hybrid I made years ago, and just by luck, it came out with green and red stripes, or red with green stripes, depending on if you think a zebra is black and white or white and black. Beautiful plant. When it blooms, it really isn't that impressive. It's just a red bloom that comes out, but the stripes on it,
yeah, look at the underside
people go
of that.
crazy for it. This is called Wicket. Again, after Wicket the play, we go to New York City a lot and see plays, and it was my mom's favorite play, so
it looks
like the stripes on the one witch's socks is the way I pictured it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's
oh my gosh.
Wicket.
Bilbergia Wicked.
Yep.
Okay. All right, this one caught my eye.
So variegation is the big deal. Everybody wants it, and in most genera, they're finding ways to make it or to find it. This was a Hohenbergia. It's now called Carla. That's an alba marginated.
Yeah, that one's pretty rare. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I think they came into Michael's Bromeliads. I can't remember the guy that sent them in, and they were dispersed through him. A lot of people have it now. It's been around for a little while.
This is what, Variesia?
Variesia Sunset.
Sunset, okay. Yeah,
it's a nice variegated with a large spike.
Yeah.
Yellow flowers, and the yellow flowers alternate, so it's still got another month of those flowers opening up.
Yeah. So that'll last like, what, a couple months?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people use these Variezias. Actually, when I was in Costa Rica, this is 30 years ago, Chester was growing Variezias and Guzmanias, and he would gas them to bloom, cut the spikes, send them to florists. The florist would call him with an order, he'd gas the rest to bloom, and he was just selling cut flowers for flower arrangements, and he'd still have the plant.
Oh,
then the plant would give him more pups, and next year he'd do the same thing.
That's cool. And that one's one of my favorites there, the Ocean Mist.
Yeah. I finally got pups coming on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a beauty. Mine's actually producing a couple pups too for the first time. It's about that same size. It's been probably 3 years.
Wow. It's a slow grower.
Yeah.
This is the smallest Varesia that I grow and that most people grow that you can get to live in Florida. It's Varesia racine, named after Mulford Foster's wife.
Okay.
That's full grown. It will come out with a little spike and usually 3 little yellow flowers, and that's it.
Yeah.
But anything smaller than that, it's hard to grow here. I gotta have one of everything.
So this is Dave Fell collection, you said?
All the Varesias here are Dave Fell out of Hawaii.
Okay.
He sold Sunshine Nursery. Now he just does it on his own. But when he had Sunshine Nursery, he would ship these in to me and Mike, and we would grow them from little seedlings.
Yeah, and these guys have such beautiful colors.
Minus the
If I
fern.
can get, if I can get it. But yeah, some really beautiful patterns on these guys. They're actually one of my favorites, I have to say.
A bigger part of my nursery is my collections. And in this greenhouse, for one, I separated hybridizers. Back when I first started, there was a man named Andy Price. Did a lot of hybrids. That whole wall on the left there are all his hybrids. He didn't get into the variegation yet. Then we got farther into, years past, and then you got Chester Skotak, who's all these here, that his are all variegated or albumarginated. So that's all Chester's hybrids.
And Chester's out in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And then over here, to your right, is this row here is Sharon Peterson. She just passed away. She was in Hawaii. And on the other half of the table is all Michael Keel from Michael's Bromeliads. I've got hybrids that he never named. When he was closing down, he said, Marty, just take all these. So all these baskets are his. And then if you go to the far wall, that's all Ray Coleman hybrids, and he's passed also. So I guess as a collector, I enjoy collecting, but I also enjoy keeping the plants around. If the hybridizer dies, those plants are going to be gone unless someone comes in there and keeps growing them.
Right. Yeah, there's some real beauties in this room for sure. So these are all Chester Skotak hybrids. Alright, well I got a little caught up here and forgot to turn the microphone on, but this is a Tillandsia monticola. It's not blooming, but it is spiking. I'll go back and film that for my Instagram when it blooms, so be sure to follow me on Instagram at Bromeliad Boss. But I just want to thank Marty so much for inviting us over to Jungle Gems and showing us around. His collection's absolutely incredible. He also houses the collections of some other hybridizers who have passed, so that's also a really important part of this hobby, to keep the plants going. And again, just thank you so much. Please like and subscribe to my channel to see more exclusive tours of bromeliad growers here around Florida.